How can you design a website that looks amazing and takes just minutes to make? Creating amazing websites can take a lot of time. There's making a sitemap, creating a wireframe, making sure everything is SEO optimized. And on top of that, you need to be actively looking for new clients, you need to make money, you need to be marketing yourself. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create stunning websites 10 times faster and thereby save more time and make more money. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is visit Relume AI, where we can access the site builder. I've already opened it up here and I'm just going to hit launch in here. I'm already logged in. You probably need to make a starter account or anything to access the site builder, so you can go ahead and do that. And I'm going to hit new project up here, and then it's loading the project, and then we get this little prompt bar where we can already fill in the company description for our website that we want to make. And in my case, I'm just gonna fill it in right here really quickly. I want to make a website for a fintech startup that makes it easy to split your transactions over several months and gives you personalized advice to grow your net worth. For the number of pages, I'm just gonna leave the 5 to 10 here, so that we can see kind of the range of the sitemap. And then when we hit generate sitemap, it's already going to do its magic. And then super fast, we're gonna get outlined all the sections that it's recommending it for the site. And so if we zoom out here a little bit, you're gonna see it's already finished and it's done the home site. And what's great here is it already gives us some like key indicators of what the section should have. For example, the how it works section explain the process of splitting transactions with a step-by-step guide, which I find really great. It's a great idea. Yeah, once it's done, you can go ahead and look at the other ones. It's gonna recommend us an about page, services page, pretty typical, so a split payment service page, like a sub page of the services, and a blog. And so for any of this, if I would say, for example, I want here another service page, I can just go a plus, and it's gonna name it page 8, but it's just gonna fill in a prompt here, create another service. Service 2, and generate the page. And what you already see here is for every site it's generating the navbar, which makes kind of sense because all the sites should have the navbar anyway. And yeah, but this is kind of interesting. And so if you want to see the other pages, for example, the contact section, let's generate the content here and see what it does. Can take a little while. Okay, so it fills it in pretty quickly, and yeah, it's just super simple to use. What I love about it is that you can reshuffle the pages, you can delete some of them, you can edit them, whatever you want. The great thing is we can change everything out easily, so if you're not quite happy with the AI generated contents, we can of course do that. For example, let's switch out the newsletter section for something else. And we can even give it a color here and reshuffle it, of course. We cannot directly regenerate it, but we can delete it and add another one. So we're just gonna add like a benefits section here. And it's already filled in, which is pretty great. So that's basically it for the sitemap. Pretty easy stuff, pretty simple, I think. And once you're ready, once you're happy with this, we can go over to wireframe. And I'm just gonna hit that now. It's on here in the top. And once you hit wireframe, the great thing is it already gives you all the components that are in the Relume library, and it will generate the site based on your sitemap, which I think is super mind blowing, and just crazy how much effort you can save with this. So if you look here, this is the hero section. Then there's like the subsections and everything. So pretty cool stuff. Here we have the FAQ, and yeah, everything is here. And what I also really love about this is for the one part that it already generates some copy for it. For example, simplify your finance with our fintech startup. Okay, this is maybe a bit generic, but this is a great example how you can rewrite it, you can make it shorter, you can fix the spelling or everything, and yeah, you can even change the tone, which I think is great. Let's try make it less generic and sell the benefit. Streamline your finances with your cutting edge. Okay, let's try another one. I'm not quite happy with it. Let's just do it ourselves. We can also do that, no problem. Yeah, I think that's alright. And yeah, basically that's like the wireframe. This is all the other sites we created for the sitemap, so this is great to have. But let's just focus on this one. I'm not quite sure about this header, so let's maybe switch it out to something else. Something that's a little bit more interesting. And for this, I'm just gonna go with this. I think it's quite interesting. And yeah, this is like how we can already build the site. Let's just see if we are happy with everything. I think this we're gonna make also a little bit more interesting. You can also go into the library itself and check out all the components. So what I really like is if you go to the components, and there's lots of filters and stuff which you can find. And I really like this filter here, the uncommon, because it basically gives you components that are more interesting or more like uncommon to use. And so maybe just let's do something a little bit cooler here. I really like this one, the header 80. So maybe let's remember this and go back. And I think we're gonna use this for the header part. Let's see, header 80. Yeah, that's great. Perfect. And here, let's see, we're gonna choose also another one. Oh no, I did it again. We have to hit the replace. Yeah, let's go with this card section here. And yeah, that's basically it for the wireframe. Again, very simple, very straightforward, and a great way to streamline the process. I really like it. We can also add another wireframe or another section, everything. So it's really customizable, and that's great. Before we export it, I'm going to show you another secret that I found, which I think is also mind-blowing. It's super cool. So if you go here to the export, so the export button, we have basically the Figma Webflow. We're gonna look at this a second. But what I think is really, really interesting is here the Excel sheet. And I stumbled upon this on coincidence, because I thought, what is it gonna export here? And basically when you hit it, it's instantly downloading the Excel, and let's see what it basically does. And it gives you a project pricing for the sitemap and the wireframe that you created. So let's say we're gonna have a real client, a real fintech startup, and they want to make this website. Then it gives you like here a recommendation of all the sites and everything, and everything how much to charge. I think that's an amazing starting point. I wouldn't take this exactly how it is here, but I think it's a great starting point to know the price per page. Okay, 7,000. Total price would be 21,800. Okay. If you think that's a little bit high, maybe you have 3 different price tiers here in the sheets: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and based on that, there's like different price ranges. This is a lot less. It's 2,800, and yeah, I think it's just crazy how much time you can save with the tools of Relume. It's really great. All right, once we're happy with the wireframe, we can go build and design it. We have two options basically to export it to Figma or to Webflow. In most cases, I would recommend to go with Figma because you have a lot more flexibility. You can do a lot more in the design, and Webflow export is better if you already know what you want to design for and you just need to get it done. So let's do the Figma. To do this, you need to install the Figma plugin, but don't worry, it's really, really easy. You just go to Figma and you go to Manage Plugins and you type in Relume. And I already have it here, but you would just need to run it. And then you get a prompt to log in. And then the next thing you will see is already here you have the projects, and here we see the fintech startup, which we just made. It also says edited 1 minute ago, so that's great. We're gonna click it. And we have the option to either add the sitemap or the wireframe. In our case, I think we go for the wireframe already here. And then it's gonna take a little while and it's gonna insert all the components that we chose, or the AI chose for us. All right, and now, so it's basically done. We have the site over here, the full site, and yeah, it's pretty great. This one over here are the other pages, but we are not focusing on them right now. So let's put on this one. And this is the mobile section, which I'm not massively focusing on either right now. So this is like everything it brought in here in Figma. And in the meantime, I created a small mood board of just things I liked from Dribbble. And this just gives like a small direction for the design. And I really like this really minimal and clean design. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's get started. Before we dig deeper, we're gonna create some colors for the design, some color palette. And for this, there is another plugin that I can show you, which is called GPT Stylist, which basically lets you create a color palette for your design. And I'm gonna paste in the description for the business, and let's see what it comes up with. All right. Okay. I'm not so sure about this. Maybe we give it another try. All right, let's go for one more. I hope it comes up with something good. Oh yeah, this is cool. This is good. I like this. And then you just create the styles in here. Styles were created. And then we should hopefully have it in here. Yep, this looks good. This is from Stylist. This is probably already from Relume. And we can just go in here and design everything. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is change the colors. And what's great here is that the Relume import already made these color styles, which is really great. So if you go to, let's change the background, primary background color should be this dark one. Great, and now we're gonna change the text color. The primary text color should be white. Now let's see, okay. The primary link color should be, let's try this one. We're gonna have some changes anyway. The logo color should be white. It's okay for now, we're gonna keep it just like that, it's all right. And now we need to change all the fonts. And for here, there's another great plugin that I can really recommend you to use. And it's called Font Changer. And what's really great about this is you just select an artboard and you can change all the fonts just in one click. Okay, so we're gonna select the artboard. Gonna select Roboto regular and change it to, let's go with this one, Agrandier. I'm taking way too long for this font changes. Let's go for Agrandier narrow. This is cool. Okay, and for the other one, Roboto regular, we're gonna go for a cumin medium. Let's go for Chromium Pro regular. So now we already have a pretty good basic design direction, but we're still missing kind of the content on the site and some images and also the company name and the logo. So let's do that for a second. I already created some icons here, which are pretty basic, but also I think they fit kind of the vibe of the website. And so for the logo, we're gonna just do a simple typographic one. And let's call our company Finimal, which is a pretty basic, but I think it fits kind of the vibe. We're gonna go for this font here, Agrandier Narrow again. Let's see. I think that's okay. Let's choose the same logo, and for the logo symbol we're gonna use this here. And yeah, so this is kind of the basic logo that we're gonna use. Let's maybe make it a little bit smaller, and it's a little bit hard to see here because of the color. Let's make it black again. And yeah, this is the basic logo. You can put it in here. And of course, this is a little bit too big. And yeah, I think it works quite okay. This is more than enough for a little test site. Now I'm gonna insert the images in a second and be right back. All right, so now we're back. I just recreated this little section here, this hero section, and I think it already works quite well. I didn't change all the icons. This would take a little bit more time, but for this demonstration, I think we can see what this is capable of. So we have like a basic design direction here, and I think now we are ready to bring it into Webflow and actually build the site. So the next step would be to export our wireframe to Webflow or our site to Webflow so we can build it already. And so that's what we're gonna do. So we are back here in Webflow, we're gonna export it, and here export it to Webflow. Then it will tell us that we need to go to each page individually and copy it to Webflow. So we go right here to the home site, copy to Webflow. And then it's gonna tell us that what we also would recommend is that we use the style guide. Also big recommendation. This is my neighbor and it's kind of annoying right now. And what's so great about this style guide is that we have a single place where we can change all the fonts and everything. So we're gonna clone it right here. And I'm hoping the neighbor is stopping soon. Create the site. And I'm just gonna name it Finimal Startup. Create it. So now it's creating the site, but of course it will be a blank site. Okay, so now we have this empty page and we can just go ahead and paste what we copied from Relume. And as you see here, it's already looking pretty okay. The layout is all here, everything. And so this is already a good starting point. Also this like hero interaction, I think it's quite nice when you slow down and when you scroll down, all the things float above the headline, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so that's good. What we need to do now is change the styles. So we go here into the style guide. And what's great about the style guide is you can change everything from one single place. All the colors, effects and UI elements. So Relume is really, what I really like about the company is that they always improve on everything. So as you see here, the style guide was updated just a month ago and they really do their best to improve it all the time, which I really love. But yeah, so basically the next thing would be we need to import the fonts and change some of the styles and change the typography and import the images. So I'm just gonna do this in a second and be right back. So what I also really love about Relume is that it gives you a lot of shortcuts for annoying tasks. For example, let's look at the website right now. I've changed some of the typography and everything and the colors. But what you see here is that still the logo here is missing. So normally I would need to export the logo from Figma and then import it here, and it's basically really a hassle. But what I'm gonna do is here, let's delete the old one and then go to the logo here and select it, the group, right click, copy paste as SVG. So it copies the SVG code, and then I go in here and select the right wrapper. This is the right wrapper. It should also be in the link. I copy paste it, and now this only works if you have the Relume extension enabled. But basically it asks you what size you want to import it. I'm gonna pick the icon large, confirm, and now we already have it here in the SVG as a link. So this is like a little bit too small though, so I'm gonna change the class to icon embed X large, which is also kind of not big enough. So let's see if there's another one. Okay, so if there's not a bigger class, it's okay, we can just duplicate it and call it XX large, and then we're gonna set it to, let's say, 8 RAM, or let's go for 10. Let's go for 10 RAM. Only on the width though. The height can be 6. And then looking pretty good. We have the logo in here. And I'm just gonna finish it up and add our icons that we made before and the content here. And then we're pretty much done. So basically that's all done. Let's see. I've put in all the rest of the images and all the fonts and everything. So if you scroll down here, we have this really nice interaction where like these images float above the headline, and I think it's really a nice way. And it's incredible that we did all this in just a few minutes. I mean, this took like, I don't know, half an hour, and it's already a really solid site, I think. I mean, there's some content missing, okay, but you can switch this out in maybe another hour, and it's really solid. Also, it's already responsive. So if you go in here, everything is built responsive, ready for mobile. We have the images, all the layout is all right to use. And I think it's a really solid case. What we can now do now is add some subtle animations. For example, when this comes into view, it comes down, it comes in from the bottom. I think it's called the slide in from bottom. Let's preview it. I think it's quite good. And then we can do this for all these sections. Slide from bottom, give it a delay of 200 seconds. And then we do the same for this button group. Where is it? Slide from bottom, 400. And then for like a small touch, we make the same for the navbar. Slide in from the top. Let's give this 600. And now we have like this really smooth interaction. The navbar is not looking so good, so let's just do a fade. And let's make it 1000 milliseconds. So everything comes in smoothly. Simplify your finance, take control over your net worth, and then if you scroll down, we have this interaction. And I think it's just looking pretty cool. Let me know what you think. I'm leaving a link in the description if you want to clone this template. It's a free clonable. If you want to play with it, check it out and see what you can do with it. So this is really impressive. Let's imagine you work for a client and you really want to bring down your time needed for the sitemap, for a wireframe and everything. That's where Relume really shines. It really saves you a lot of time. And I think it's a great tool. It brings down your time from a couple hours to a few minutes. And basically, if you can automate the things that you need to do every time, you can save a lot of time and therefore make more money. So to wrap it up, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Also, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description if you want to try out Relume. Feel free to leave any questions that you have in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So stay hungry and keep creating.